Hello everyone, so we're doing an unboxing video today. I've got some new plants in I'm really excited about. Before I talk about the ones that just came in today, I need to highlight a shop on Etsy, and I'll put it here. I received, let's see, this plant here and this dragon here, variegated. And there are two, what are they called, behind me, down below, that you cannot see. And I received two more, and they were not in the best of conditions. So I was talking back and forth with the seller, and he was trying to find replacements for me. So I was waiting, and I had to wait for a bit, but you guys, every time I asked a question, they were like really quick to respond, and they were just asking that I be patient. I was patient, and then it got to a point where I was like, okay, let's just go ahead and either refund me or send me, pictures of other plants that would ship well, because these came from Indonesia. I'm sorry, I should have said that at first. So they, found some options for me, and what I chose was the Pedata radiatum. I'm not sure how to say that, but that is this plant. And she had, I think, 5 leaves, and I had to cut 2 off because 2 were yellowed in the process, right, of course. And this one I'm trying to hold on to as long as possible. I cut the other part of that off. But these are the 2 remaining leaves that I have. And I'm just hoping that, yeah, see how gorgeous that is? So I wanted to highlight the shop because when they replaced me, they were looking for the best. They didn't like skimp. And so I want to give that shop a shout out. Now, I've got a humidifier running, and right now it's at like 64%. So I know these are higher humidity plants. Now, when they came in, I quarantined them away from my other plants, and I sprayed them with alcohol for 3 days. So this one is the Vitarifolium, I believe how you say that, but it's this one. And it only had 1 yellow leaf, so now it's gotten 2. So I've got to figure out how I can increase the humidity, because I think this is more like a humidity problem, because I'll have to put images of the plants. I have that video, but I never posted the video because I ordered like a crazy amount of plants for my birthday, and the video was kind of long, so I never did post it, but I still have it if I need to go back. So I've got her sitting in leca in a closed system. I'm hoping that, leca's pretty good about retaining the moisture, so I don't want to lose it. But this is what she looks like, and I really like this plant, so I'm hoping that she's going to be okay. So I want to go ahead and get into the shop, because they were just delivered like 10 minutes ago. I saw on the camera and I was like, oh, my plants are here, let me go get my plants. So the first shop I am going to show you, or the first plants, came from the Rare Foliage, and these are Etsy shops. I will leave a link in the description down below to the shops. And I think this is the second time that I purchased from Rare Foliage, I think. Now, don't quote me on that. So there's the manifest. And this is how it's packaged. They're still like very hot, so I'm hopeful and everything that that they're gonna be okay. I do have one of these included. So okay. We're just letting the fluff or the floof fall everywhere. Okay, so the first one that I have unboxed, oh, is the silver Matrata. Now I have another Matrata that I received, and I was so in love with that one when I saw this one was at a much cheaper price. Of course I wanted to get it because I do love the Matratas, but there is a lot of cellophane, so I'm gonna fast forward through this part or just skip it entirely. Okay, this is like really hot. Now I will not mess with these. I will leave them. I'm gonna set everything up and put them to the side because they have already been stressed out enough. But yeah, there you have that. Trying to show you. And she's got a little edema there. But yeah, it's a big leaf. Okay. And we'll open the second one from them. These are nice rubber bands. I'll keep those. Oh, okay, so I remember now. No. Okay, I love it. I'll have to find the other. I love when they include the plant tags. So if you saw that, you saw what this is, if you were able to catch it. And there she is. Now, I looked at this plant and wanted it because just look how gorgeous that is. But I saw a video of Lucy and Steph, and I think someone else, and they were always talking about how finicky this plant can be. So yeah, I'm just gonna be as hopeful and get my plant care routine back up because I've kind of slacking with work and taking some much needed vacations, mini vacations. Yeah, I love that. She is so gorgeous. I see why there is a craze. So hopefully you will thrive, not just survive, because some of my plants right now are just surviving, and I know that's really sad. I've got to do better. I'm going to do better. Okay, now I need to, well, we'll put that back in there. Okay, how am I going to show this? Because this is one of the reasons. The next shop is Collective Plants, and this is actually where my what do you call them, I guess exotic plant journey started coming in there, because I've always been interested in plants, but you know, just going to like Lowe's and Home Depot, and back home they never had the exotic more, you know, plants out like they do. They had lots of plants, lots of beautiful plants, but you know what I'm talking about, like the kind of average. And I thought not the aloe vera, but what they call like the plants they say live like 1,000,000 years or something like that, or 1,000 years. But anyway, I was gonna show you the box. I didn't show you the box. Okay, so, and the first time I tried to order off of Etsy, I said this before, it was from another overseas seller on Etsy, and yeah, that was a bust. Etsy had to refund me, and so I'm showing that address. I need to blank that out. So the next place was Collective Plants, and I got, you know, I was so impressed that I went back and bought a second order from her. But anyway, so this is the box that she has. I really love her packaging. And then I had like 2 of these one time, and you know, I got quite a few plants, but I like how they're triangular, and then she stacks them like that. So if I turn it upside down, it would be like a pyramid. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get in here, bust in. Ow! Yeah, I'm hurting myself. because I have, the first thing I could find was a screwdriver, right? So I'll fast forward through this. Oh my goodness. Really, people? Yeah. Okay, what we're gonna do first? It's dusty. I guess that's because it's midland. Oh, dusty out. Yeah. So this, let me show that name again. And then when you open it, that's what's waiting for you inside. And she always has tags. So hopefully that hasn't changed. Well, she's got that one tab. So there are 3 here. I thought there were only 2, but there are actually 3. There's 1 up here and then 2 down at the bottom. So they're taped in there really, really good. And you would think for her packaging that the prices would be more expensive than they are, but they're not. She's actually extremely reasonable. Now, her substrate may, but I find that the substrate, which I actually don't like, but it actually held some of my plants that were neglected for months, quite a while, so it worked out in the end. And I think it's generally just, if I say that and this is something different, so you know how that goes. Okay, so this is my Hoya, what did it say? Okay, yes, I've been wanting this one. This was a wish list plant. Hoya vitellinoides, I think that's how you say that. But it gets these huge leaves. And see. But yes, this will get huge leaves. And it's just really, look at the veining. And there's some splash on that one. Oh, I'm blocking it. Okay, let's see. No, it's still not gonna show. Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's got a little bit of splashing on there. And these are new. I thought they were wilted, but no, these are new. That's why they're way soft. Yeah, it's still that same, like, what is that, cocoa? What is that? Okay. So put that one down. Now, everything is not a Hoya, but the next one is a Hoya. Most of them are Hoya. Who am I kidding? Okay, so this is fun because I just got this at a big box store. And if I had gone to the big box store first, I would not have purchased this. I would have, and I'm just ripping the leaf. I would have purchased something else. But this is the Hoya variegata. But yeah. And there she is. I love how thick and lush she is. Look at that. Now, isn't that nice? Okay, so maybe because the way that it's bunched up, because I don't want to give the big box stores, but this looks a little bit better quality than the one that came from the box store. But hey, I love that big box stores has this stuff for us, you know. So that was just a little dry. And I'm sure the way it's just kind of like pushed up to where it's looking bushier. So yeah. Okay. And this is a calistenoides, so that's going to be something similar to the vitellinoides. Or that's what I'm thinking anyway. Maybe they just have similar names, but it's anoides. Okay. She ain't doing so well at all. This is good. We've got some new growth coming in there. Some, not new growth, well, the tendrils. So hopefully we'll get some new leaves soon. But yeah, this looks like the calistophylla that I have. What is that called? Yeah. Now this one I'm really not too stoked about. But I just love the way that they feel. And look, the blue, dark blue veining. I think she'll recover just fine. You've got to understand, it was 101 degrees. Now, I'm in West Texas. It's very dry, very hot. Okay. And I think they made it to Texas at least a day ago. And that was only the first box. So let's get to the second box and see what we have. And we have another 3, 1 up top and then 2 below. Okay, this one, I purchased 2 from her back during my birthday haul, and I was so in love with those plants. And I have one that we got from Shreveport. It's huge, but it's just a plain, well, they call it something else, but to me, they're the same. So anyway, that's why I was interested in the plant in the first place, because I knew how beautiful the green one was and how vigorous growers they are. And of course, the variegated is not going to be as vigorous, but yeah. So this is, I love how you pop them out, open them up, and then they just kind of, you know, fall down in a good way, not in a bad way. Okay, so she's a little dehydrated, of course. But this is the hardleaf philodendron, variegated, of course. Yeah, could be a little higher variegated, but I think it's still a good specimen. Okay, I'll have to show my other one day, but that's her. Okay, now the next 2, I ordered 2 of. Yeah, because they are beautiful, and they're pothos. Okay, so I was looking at this one for a while. Look how beautiful that is. This is the pothos mandula. Now, I see the craze, which is why I did go ahead and purchase one, but look how beautiful. And this is why I got 2 of these. Okay? Very nice. Well, that's my most vigorous one, the biggest one. Now let's see if this one is going to be smaller. Or will it be of equal quality? Okay, I got a couple of dead leaves falling off and a couple of yellow ones down there. Okay, yeah, it's okay. This one's a little bit smaller than the previous one, but look, it's just a beautiful plant. It is just a striking plant. Okay, so now we have a philodendron burley marks variegated. Now I fell in love with, and I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he had a regular one, and it was so lush and thick and beautiful. But I never got one, and it, you know, wasn't too much of an interest for me to get one. Now, if I had seen one, I guess at a big box store, I would have. But this is the variegated, and if it even comes, well, I want it to come close to the lushness and the beauty of the other one, I would be thrilled. But it's variegated, so I know it's not going to be as vigorous as the all green. But look at that. Got some good variegation on some of the leaves. And I'm not against actually having green because it helps the plant be stronger, because it's gonna get more chlorophyll. That leaf. Okay. As I was browsing her shop, Collective Plants, I saw this one, and I had to go and look it up because it was striking to me, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew that I liked it. So when I looked it up, I was like, oh yeah, I can go ahead and get that. But it just looks like a regular, oh, let me tell you what the name is. Cuberula, however you would say that, but that's the name there. But they're very nice plants. But look, this just looks like a regular pothos to me. Well, epipremnum, pothos, epipremnum. We're trying to get it going on the pole, but it's actually, yeah, there we go, that's better. Showing. And the last one is another player that I've been wanting for a while. Finally came across this one at a reasonable price. Like I said, she's reasonably priced, and it is the Hoya sigillatus. And there she is. Okay, you guys, so until next time, you grow. You grow, girls.